What are our products and services? So how do materially and practically implement what we claim so far? So our development of product and services start from the analysis of key barriers that hamper the solution for the problem we have been discussing. So lack of green and climate finance, not enough in volume, particularly very few for adaptation and biodiversity conservation. So we have been observing the three key barriers: lack of transparency, lack of capacity, lack of adapted product and services. So in lack of transparency, it is difficult to understand what actors are doing in terms of financing, what is inside the portfolio of financial intermediary institution, what an investor is actually financing in terms of climate change adaptation and biodiversity conservation, as well as inclusivity. That's even more true when we go more near to the end of the value chain, so near to smallholder and into the field. So we need to solve that, because if you do not know what is finance and with which degrees of trust we can trust what is finance and which level of impact and resilience can be generated, it will be difficult to channel finance for the scope. And then lack of capacity. So many stakeholders still lack capacity to better to understand how to measure, how to understand risk, and how to find solution. And of course, lack of adapted product and service. In the market, very few are the products, financial products, for example, that are available and tailored to foster climate change adaptation and biodiversity conservation, particularly for vulnerable populations. So the JuST Institute want to break this barrier with their own solutions. So the solution we bring to the market are the following, that are aimed and targeted to develop the market to enable action of all the other stakeholders. So first of all, we provide analysis of practices of risk management processes, as well as portfolio of financial intermediary institutions. We look into the portfolio of financial intermediary institution, MFI, local bank, and understand what is inside this portfolio that is supporting climate change adaptation and how is reliable, and what is inside this portfolio that support biodiversity conservation and how reliable. We certify the content to give an improved transparencies into the market. We break the barrier of lack of capacity by providing ongoing training and capacity building to field officers and management to understand on practical basis how to include into their daily operation the topic about climate risk and biodiversity risk, and how to identify interesting solutions to compensate for this risk and to better provide solution to the client. We break the barrier of lack of adapted product and services with our strategic and operational advisory, mainly tailored on development of product and services for financial intermediary and in particular for private and public investors. So we support them to tailor programs so that they will be tailored for the need to leverage and to expand climate finance, as well as to structure products like, for example, sustainable linked loans, so loans that can decrease their interest rate if certain indicators in terms of biodiversity, positive impact, and generation of resiliencies to climate change are achieved. So we support our member and the sector to put in place these financial products so that we can have dedicated product to finance the transition. And we cannot do that without a sound use of data and standard. So we work together with our members to develop and spreading actionable standard and data. Actionable is the key. So we see what is in the market, we support further development of what is not existing yet, and we make it usable for the private and public sector. Moreover, the JuST Institute is here to mainstream climate change adaptation and biodiversity conservation for the most vulnerable ones. So we want to build to what is already known in terms of best practices and lesson learned. So we work as an hub of methodology that are making the proof, and we upstream them to the full sector. We use to support this work with advocacy, collective and collaborative action, stakeholder coordination, as well as capitalization and research. So the outcome of our action. We measure our action through three main outcomes. The number of smallholder farmers that implements green and resilience practices and technology like agroforestry, drip irrigation, soil restoration, agro-photovoltaic solutions. We target big numbers and growing because the gap is huge. We target our outcome also in terms of invested amount of financings into climate, biodiversity, and inclusive finance. So how much is invested that can be confirmed it is actually producing material impact, positive impact on biodiversity, inclusivity, and generating climate resiliences into the sector. We also define our outcome of our action in terms of the capacity we generate into the market, and we measure that through the number of staff that has been trained from financial intermediary institutions, being local banks, being microfinance institution, cooperative, or any other instrument that allow us to make channel money to the one that needed the most, and the capacity we generate in terms of management of biodiversity risk and solution. So this is our outcomes pathway. How do we generate our revenue? So the JuST Institute is a social business. You want to achieve impact by having a sustainable business model. So there are two ways you can contribute and two ways we have revenue through the JuST Institute. One is donation investment type. So you provide donation that work as an investment to develop tailored products and services that then will be utilized by your own institution to achieve your strategic goals, as well as developing products and services that will allow the JuST Institute to provide these products and services into the market at a fair price so that other clients can buy it and can support the generation of outcome positive for the one they need it the most. That's one source, donation investment type. The other source of revenue comes from payment for products and services. So the JuST Institute is providing products and services into the market, certification, training, structuring product and services for smallholder finance, as well as for corporate finance with inclusive target, as well as being hub for hosting projects and programs, ensuring quality control. So we sell these products and services, and out of that we generate margin that we reinvest into our key target. So improve our products and services to achieve a better outreach and better impact for the most vulnerable one. Our products and services, our methodology has already been rewarded at the COP26 because the JuST Institute, together with the partner, has won 2 key projects through the Inclusive and Innovation Adaptation Challenge by the Global Environmental Facility. So 2 projects will be implemented with our partner, the Group BNP Paribas, and the Fondation Grameen Crédit Agricole, with financing from the GEF, and we will work together into the implementation with our partner, the IFAD. We will work into developing a scheme for certification for climate change adaptation, so to be able to identify how much of the portfolio of microfinance institutions and local banks is actually targeting adaptation to climate change in terms of climate technology, in terms of nature-based solution, and we certify this part of portfolio. We also work in other projects in terms of using indicator to better define key performance indicator to link better condition on loans to institutions that are going to achieve better target in terms of adaptation to climate change and biodiversity conservation. We're going to implement these projects in Latin America as well in Sub-Saharan Africa, and we're looking to have this project as piloting to then expand and institutionalize these 2 services and products.